Right, we're ranking the top 10 current Premier League strikers, and we're going to start off with number 10. Lads, what are we thinking? 10th best striker in the Premier League right now.
Right now, I thought this list was hard to make. I don't know about you boys.
It was.
There's not a lot of talent, but I went with the young lad at Ipswich, Liam Delap. It's my 10th best striker in the league. He's young.
He's not even in my list.
Well, that's where you've gone wrong. Your
One
list is
Premier League
terrible
goal,
then.
John.
One Premier League goal, but have you seen the goal?
It is good. The keeper should do better.
And I also just think, I'm happy to go through this list, but there's not that much talent. That's why I wanted to caveat it. So I've gone with Liam Delap. He's young. I think that goal he scored, if you haven't seen it against Fulham, picks up the ball halfway line, runs the whole pitch, puts it top bins. I think
potential strikers with the Fergusons of the world, I'd struggle personally for 10 right now. He's very young. Played all his time in the Championship, hasn't he?
We'll see, mate.
Zach, what are you thinking?
I've got Dominic Solanke in 10th.
That's low.
Yeah, super low.
He's in my
Female
list.
striker.
Yeah, I think I've got 9 other strikers that are better than him.
You've got 19 league goals.
Yeah,
last season.
That's hard.
And you've got him 10.
If you put Jack above Solanke, man, this is going to be a long video.
And Michu for one season got like 23. People have
Solanke's
like
been about.
He's had good
but
numbers as well.
Before his about was like 3 goals in the league. Like, I don't get me wrong. I think he had a fantastic year last year.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll have that this year. Genuinely, with Spurs.
You hope.
But I do think he's the 10th best striker in the league. I think
that's a bit low, man. That's too low.
Who's your 10th, Mark?
Yeah.
I got Jamie Vardy there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, Jamie
don't mind
Vardy,
that.
man. He's back, man. Jamie Vardy being back in the league, I think he's top 10 just by default. Him coming back and scoring his goal when he was half injured against Spurs. Pops a Red Bull at half time and then bangs. Come on, man. It's Jamie Vardy.
Yeah,
There's not, like you said, the talent is kind of low. I could have picked somebody else, but you know what? Jamie Vardy, he's going to do a job for Ipswich, even if he wasn't even...
Leicester,
sorry. Blue and white, sorry. Even if he wasn't at Leicester City, I think he was at a higher club, he would get at least 10 goals for them. Easy.
I think it's fair.
Is Vardy in the rest of your list?
No, he's not on mine.
No, he wasn't in my list.
okay.
But I
My
would happily have him over Delap. I think that's a fair temp.
Yeah, I think mine is João Pedro at Brighton. I think
Going
that
crazy.
makes enough sense. Enough experience in the Premier League for me at 10. At 9, I can go quickly as well. Mateta, I think off the back of last season, I think also that kind of upper ceiling of where could this guy go? What could he be doing in the Premier League next 5 years? I think I could see him scoring 20 a season in the Premier League for the next 3 or 4 years. He's got that ceiling to him.
Don't know about
Is he
that.
on your list?
Not at all.
He's on my
man.
list.
Like, again,
Really? Yeah,
someone
yeah.
that had a good year last year and has started the year. Okay.
He's not on your list?
He's Mateta.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we're doing
He's
top
done a
10
stinker.
strikers,
He's
not
got
top 10
16
keepers.
16 league goals. 16 league
Where's
goals.
the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Mishu's got 20-something ones.
I
but
keep
like-
going back to Michu.
Yeah, but
we
Michu
can't
would
judge
have
him
been
off
your
one
top.
season,
Michu would have
man.
been in it.
Yeah.
If we were doing it on that
Exactly.
season, you'd have to put
Talking
Michu
about
in it.
9.
Like, we're not talking about.
up
You
front of
know.
that year.
Is that because they drew with you on the weekend, mate?
Well, that was down to a player that should have been sent off but wasn't. And Miles know a lot about that. It's rough, isn't it? It's rough out there. It's rough out
Can I say my 9th?
Go.
Chris Wood.
Oh,
Now, I don't.
happening? What?
I'm not mad at that, you
Because
know.
listen, Zach, I don't know what you've turned up today thinking the assignment is, but it's strikers and the goal.
Yeah.
The goal of a striker is
To
to
score
score
goals.
He scored 14 goals. I'm not saying he's an amazing player. And this list, I did caveat it. There's not a lot of talent at the back end of it, but Chris Wood scored 14 goals in a pretty average Forest side.
So
I spot
I'm
on.
not
In the
mad at
last
that,
5
no.
years, he's actually scored a lot of
I'm
Premier
not
League
mad
goals.
at that.
He's not bad. He wasn't good enough for
Chris Wood.
Newcastle, but he's good at Forest.
no, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. But my 9th is Diego Jota. Like, that's the level. Yeah.
He has to be higher than that.
No,
So low.
because Jota's issue for me is his injury record, man.
Have you forgotten that
Yeah, but we're talking
Drogba
about
and Alan
strikers.
Shearer are all retired from football? I
Mate,
mean, who's going to be in the top 5
Above
for
these
you?
boys are great.
Solanke,
I'm
he's
looking
like
forward
back to
to it.
front. You do it back to front.
Nah, I really like Jota. I just think he is way too injury prone for Liverpool. And I still think if you asked Liverpool as a club, is there someone else out there that they could replace in that front line? I think that striker mold would be the one.
They
but
love
not
him
for
there,
Jota.
man. They love
Yeah,
him.
when he can play,
I'll
but he
take-
can't
yeah,
play.
I'll
started
take
every
Jota
game.
in a
He started every game for the slot.
He's better
Yeah,
than
but
you've
3
got.
games. Wait till the 4th. He might be injured.
Yeah,
Love Jota at Arsenal.
Who's your number 9?
My number 9 is Danny Welbeck. I think it's a
Fair.
very,
This
very,
says so much about the Premier League, man. We're all saying, I think the Chris Wood shout is valid. He shouldn't be in the top 10 for
No,
anyone.
you
though.
should, yeah.
We used to talk
He's
about,
not in mine.
we used to talk about everyone. Andy
He's not
Cole
in
would have
mine.
been like
Well, it's because
9th
your
in the
manager
prime.
killed strikers.
Yeah, I
He
know.
killed it. He
I know.
killed
Danny
it. Everyone
Welbeck's
plays
a-
false
Sorry, lads,
nine.
I love
Got Havertz up
strikers.
from Arsenal.
Danny Welbeck is top 10 though, man. He's
He's
a
not,
hand-
he's not.
He is, man. He's a
Oh.
handful against anybody on his right day, man. He's strong, he's fast, he could pass. He could do it all, man. Danny Welbeck is a quality striker, bro. He's been doing it for years in this league. He hasn't hit He hasn't hit great numbers, no, but he's a very good, solid striker. You know what you're going to get from him.
I agree with you, by the way.
He's a threat.
16 years in the Prem, I think.
Yeah, he's a threat.
16 years,
And does he look
yeah.
like
He's
he's
a top
slowing
pro.
down any moments?
No.
He doesn't look like he's slowing down.
No,
And
he's good against you when he nicked a point off of you. So
he's
I love
definitely-
that.
Who's
he's
everyone's?
definitely top
We're going 8. Are we 8?
Yeah, we're up to 8. I've gone with Jackson at Chelsea. Scored a great amount of goals last season. Still in his first season. He has to be in the top 10 for me because he's playing for a two-time European champion winner. And he did a great couple of performances against Spurs and so on. So I think he's a good striker in the Premier League.
He's not in my list.
Not my list.
John doesn't rate him.
He's
and
not in
it's
my
one of
list.
the things
Jackson's better than Wood.
It's one of the things
No.
that annoys me the most about your
my list.
opinion.
Because like I said,
Jackson is fantastic.
strikers
No,
score
he's not.
goals.
Is he better than Pedro?
And he scored more goals than Chris Wood last season.
And he's playing next to Cole Palmer. Noni Madueke got a hat
We
trick
still
where Cole
scored
Palmer
goals.
Cole Palmer tees it up. I'm pretty sure. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
go down the XG route, but if you look at Jackson's, it's like six
It's not that
or
bad.
7 goals more he should have had.
Mate,
And he's
you have to
playing
put him
up
top
front.
10.
He's playing up front with world-class players. Jackson's not on my list.
He's not even a striker. He's a left
He's not on my
winger.
list.
No,
yeah.
man.
I wanted to
Jackson
put-
is so good. I genuinely believe it.
No,
He's
he's
not,
not.
bro.
What argument
He
is that? He's
He
so
is.
good. I've
If you've
given
got-
you
If
facts.
you've got Kai Havertz in your list and you haven't got Jackson,
100%.
oh my
What are we doing here? Bro, you just put
He's got Danny Welbeck in his list and he hasn't got
Bro,
Jackson.
you just put Jota 9th and Solanke 10th, and you're talking about
yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, Jackson's going higher than them.
Jackson's top 10 in... this is Chelsea Football
Mate,
Club we're
people-
talking about.
This is
No,
what people.
No,
What did he
Jackson's-
score last season? 15?
15 in the league, yeah. Not in, and also
14,
another like
14.
14, sorry, and then
14.
another like
It's not just that
5,
goal.
then another like 5 assists.
Yeah.
Not to mention the
scored
other
that-
goals he got.
He scored
in
14
other
goals and 4
competitions.
against Tottenham.
In fact, you know,
Tottenham's a big
8
club,
men.
though.
Yeah,
Jackson,
literally,
Jackson
just
has more non-penalty goals than like Bukayo Saka last season.
Okay, well done. But
we
don't
can't
even
dis-
don't mention
Miles,
Bukayo Saka.
know one of the
He's
reasons I
You
elite
can't
level,
discredit someone
bro.
for scoring a load of goals
No, but it's
against
the
Tottenham.
eye
They're a big club.
test. It's the eye to you watch him yet.
Yeah, he's rubbish.
If he was a good
You watch him, he
striker,
looks
if he was a good
great.
striker, you would have gone 1-1 against City. He's lazy. He's offside, sleeping
No,
at
but
the back
he's
post
just
when
like-
Cole Palmer cuts in on his left foot. Your one job then as a striker for Chelsea is to go Cole Palmer cutting in, stay on side, look at the back line. He's just there. So, comes back to me. Oh, score now.
But that's not the
Many
debate, is it? 'Cause-
lazy.
But that's not the
Many
debate.
people
If
out
Chris,
there,
if Chris
like,
Wood was playing for
poor.
Chelsea last season, Chris Wood wouldn't score 15 Premier League or 14 Premier League goals last
Probably
season.
I think
would.
Danny
He
Welbeck would.
No,
I don't think he
100%.
would.
I don't
think he would
I've seen
score
him in great
I'll
Man
tell you
United
who would.
size missed chances.
I tell you who would, and he's 8th on
Play
my
for
list.
Arsenal, he didn't stay there. when they
Exactly.
were
Go on,
bad.
who's your eighth?
I'll tell you who would
So
score,
harsh.
and he's 8th on my list, is Mateta. Because Mateta was
Yeah.
scoring umpteens of goals for Crystal Palace, and he never had not even half the service he was getting from Cole Palmer.
Eighth on my list is Gabby Jesus.
Oh, nah.
Left winger, though.
Doesn't even make my... yeah, it doesn't even...
Sorry. You had Jota 9th.
Yeah.
And he got
Based
Jesus-
off of injury record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
But
ninth
then you've got
but
Jesus
ninth
above him
and
who
eighth-
scores less goals, who's
But
always
9th
injured.
and 8th.
And he's not even a
9th and
striker.
8th 9th and 8th could literally, like, it's minimal for me. Like, you've got to swap them around.
You've just contradicted
Well,
your
you've
whole
done it the
list.
wrong way
your
round.
list.
Yeah,
Jota-
sure,
Jota-
but
Jota-
fine. Like, I think there are certain
You need
ones
to
here where
change.
it's like either or.
Look down that lens. You know what JC done? Look down that lens. Go and...
Mate, I feel like I've got the best list here. You guys have got some
Number 2.
crazy
Look down number
shouts
2
here.
and say, sorry, Liverpool fans. I messed up with the...
No, not at all. Like,
You're
sure.
wasting Liverpool
If you
fans' time.
genuinely-
They're tuning in and they're going,
If
oh,
you
Jota
wanna
below
swap around-
Jesus.
If
Yeah.
you want to swap around Jota and Jesus to 9th, put Jota 8th and Jesus 9th, fine. Like, that doesn't really matter to me.
I'd change your whole list if I can have access to it.
Yeah,
I think you guys.
Well, my
are
8th, I
nuts.
wanted to give a shout, but I'm not. He's not my man, but Rodrigo Muniz deserves a shout. But I have Pedro. Ciao, Pedro.
Yeah, I think
João
that's fair.
Pedro's my
I
eighth.
think we all agree João Pedro's
He's in the
really
list.
João Pedro is my 7th.
he's my
He's in
7th.
everyone's
fine.
list.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's my 7th.
My 7th is
Go on.
Mateta, so we've covered
Fine, so
that.
we covered Mateta. I think that's fair. Who's your 7th?
Mine says Pedro. So it's in
So we've all got Pedro.
You got yeah.
Solanke's 7th for me.
Okay, fair.
We've all done our 7th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to 6th. We've not talked about this guy enough. Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz is my
I hate
6th.
to say it.
He's my 6th.
I hate to say it, I don't want him, but I don't want him to be 6th. I don't want us to be speaking about Chris fucking Wood in a top 10 video for Premier League strikers. it's where modern football is. And Kai Havertz has scored a goal in the Champions League final. He scored, what did he get last season? 20 odd goals for you last season, all
20 goals.
competitions.
You got 13 and 7. 13
Yeah, and he
goals,
came
7
second
assists.
last season. He's playing number 9. He's already got two goals in 3 games for Arsenal this season. A great little lob against Brighton as well. So he has to be in the top 10.
But is
at
he
least.
even a striker?
He is
Is
now.
he even a
is,
striker?
he is
Okay, but
now.
what game
He's
was
on
it?
midfield
Miles,
now.
I might need your help on this because my Arsenal knowledge. But wasn't there a game in the Champions League that you needed to win and he played him in midfield and you lost? What game was that?
Yeah, but
that
he's
was
in
against-
midfield. Yeah,
that was
but
against-
he's
that was against Villa.
Bayern
I think
Munich.
he's
But
realised
like
that
Haaland
since,
doesn't get
like-
Pep doesn't put Haaland in midfield.
But when they bought Kai Havertz, they bought him to
Kai
be a
Havertz is
midfielder.
doing a job and he's doing it all right.
don't
For
know
me,
if
he's
he's
not
doing-
a striker.
But I think they bought him as a midfielder.
He is a striker, man. He's
didn't
better than
work
midfield.
as a midfielder, and they got.
not midfield.
Oh, actually,
I
he
understand.
can work up front.
But when do any of these other players mentioned get put in a Champions League massive knockout game
But
into
him
midfield?
being versatile doesn't matter. Like,
But that's down to
he'd be put on the left wing.
That's more down to Mikel Arteta messing up than
But that's
Kai
why I can't have
Havertz.
him in my top 10 list, because if he's that good of a striker, you play him
But
up.
when he did go into
But
strike,
he is now. Like,
but when he was striking,
When he's played number 9, he scored goals. He
scoring
scored
goals.
in the Euros as well for Germany. And
banging in goals for us, bro.
I think Kai
Not
Havertz
for me.
is a striker now. Like, I
think
think
he is,
even
yeah.
if you asked Arteta would go, you know what, we did originally buy him as a midfielder.
Converted him back,
But he's
man.
now
He's a
off.
striker.
Right?
We don't have to like it,
But every
by the
Arsenal
way.
fan, every non-Arsenal fan, every Arsenal player, every manager, the manager there, they know they wanted a striker the whole season.
Yeah, of course.
That's all you were going after.
We
was
can
a
That's
also
striker.
agree
because
that
we're
he
trying to
isn't good
chase
enough.
these guys down. If we're trying to do what we're doing now, Kai Havertz is more than good enough. But if we're trying to chase down the best team in the world, you need more than.
And there's not many strikers out there.
That's not bad on his fault.
So what happens if you
next
signed
level.
a striker? I don't think he plays up in striker for you.
I don't think he plays.
For
I
me,
mean, but I think he comes on in midfield roles to see out games.
He's not good enough in midfield.
Top, like-
but that's for me. That's one down for Mikel Arteta. I think he's one of the best managers in the league, but I don't think he's ruthless enough. I think he held onto the sentimental value of Kai Havertz. He should have just been ruthless and got somebody who's a killer up front. But Kai Havertz for me is still.
How's he
But there
6th?
also
And we can all agree
there
with
also isn't that many players at the level above Kai Havertz that you can buy to chase down City. Like, okay, maybe Osterman maybe he worked.
Tony, maybe. It's a big if as well.
Maybe Tony, who
but
scored
he's there.
3 goals last season when he's back from. There's not that jump is tough. Like, there's not a lot of them out there.
Who's your 6th?
My 6th was Solanke.
Same.
Yeah,
Solanke, yeah.
We covered Solanke. What about who's your 6th?
Mine was
Havertz as
yeah,
well.
Kai Havertz.
I'll move on to 5. I have to go with Son. I know he doesn't play.
striker.
He's played
is
more
striker.
than enough as a striker. I know we can't. Salah's a winger, but he never played down the middle. Salah, right? Son did play down the middle enough. He's scored hundreds of Premier League goals, or at least goals for Spurs in all competitions. I think if he could start from Man City. I think Chelsea would take him. I think any top 6 club would take him. He's fantastic.
I agree. He's in my
Incredible
list.
finisher.
Son's, he's in,
I didn't
is he
even
in
put him on
everyone's
my
list?
He's in my list.
He's
I
in
didn't
my
put him on
list.
my list because I've left wing.
What number are we at?
We're at
5.
5.
5.
5 is where I've got Nicholas Jackson. Because I think
We've talked about that.
Fantastic.
I got Kai Havertz 5th.
I got Jota. Your Jota fifth.
Kai Havertz
That's
is
justified.
Jota fifth.
Yeah,
Just,
he's not
if
9 or
if
8.
he was less injury prone, he'd be higher. I think he's an amazing
100%.
finisher.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to top 4 now. Jota's top 4 for me.
Yep,
Everything
he's
he's
my
won,
fourth,
fantastic. I've actually put Isak 3rd.
So I've got Son.
Is that crazy?
4th.
Okay.
So you've got some
Yeah.
fourth.
4th.
I've got Watkins fourth.
I've got Jota 4th.
We've all got different fourth.
Yeah, I got Jota 4th. Jota's quality. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
Jota
having
4th.
you having Jota 9th is absolutely criminal.
Yeah, but he needs to.
Like, it's criminal. You should be locked
But you
up.
also the best
like-
ability, something like the best ability you can
Can
have.
we
as a player is
we've got to redo
availability.
the recording, surely. We can't have it.
Jack, you should be locked
he
up. You shouldn't
can't-
even get a lawyer. You should defend yourself.
Hey, mate, there are many. Like, okay, he scores goals, right? So we want to talk about other players. Other players can do other bits, right? Jota doesn't actually do that much else. Like he's a poacher, great poacher, not creative.
What?
He's not creative.
Neither does
He's really
Haaland,
trouble
and we know where he
here.
is on everyone's list.
And how many goals did Haaland score? Nearly 40.
No,
Like,
Jota could
very
create.
different
links up
Jota.
play, bro.
Jota's a
Jota
nuisance,
links
bro.
up
He's good in
play.
the
No,
air.
mate,
He's
he does,
5 foot.
he does, he does.
He's 5 foot
I'm
nothing.
telling
He's
you,
good in the air.
I've always kind of thought Jota's a little bit
No,
overrated.
seriously, how tall is Jota? He's
Yeah,
he's
5'9",
5'10".
5'10".
5'9". He's great in the air. He's always nicking a goal at back stick. He could pass. He's got great link-up play. He's a very good
So why is
striker.
he never like how many? What is his most amount of goals in a season? I actually might. I'll
But
find this
like
out
you
right
said,
now.
Quite high. He's got
He
a good
got
goal
10
to
last
game
season.
ratio.
He was injured constantly.
Yeah, he's injured.
Wow. You know, like,
But he's still
10
one of the
last
best-
season's not like, if he is the 4th best striker in the league.
Yes.
he should be fit enough. Then he can't play.
It's a fair criticism to say, look,
But 10
he's been
injured when Jackson got 14 playing every single minute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
but
no,
that's
yeah.
but that's the world we live in. You can't just if we time and time again are going, oh, Jota's injured this season. Oh, Jota's injured this season. Jota's injured this season. Then we have to base our
But he's still
opinion
getting
on
good
him
numbers as
being
Jackson,
injured.
who's still fit.
But when Jota's fit, he's a better
injured.
striker than Jackson.
Jackson, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's justified.
My
I
fourth,
think
my
for me, injuries make an impact.
Okay, let me ask you just one quick question before we move on. If they're both fit for the year, they get 38 games from Jackson and your striker, what's his name? Jackson and Jota.
Jota.
Who are you picking?
So Jota, in his year, when he played 35 games for the Premier League, that is about the same as Jackson, got 15 goals.
What?
And that's for Liverpool.
Yeah,
but those goals contribute towards winning major
yeah,
titles.
they're going for
All right,
major
but
honours.
Jackson's only got 1 year in, mate. He's 22.
Yeah, we can all say you're not going to be winning the league
calm
title
down.
anytime
Yeah,
soon.
exactly.
What number are we up to here, boys? Round the table. My fourth was Ollie Watkins. Yours
Fourth
was
Son.
Son.
And then
Mine was
third is
Jota.
Ollie Watkins. For me.
Okay, so
third is Ollie Watkins.
my third is Son, so we know.
My third is Isak.
Yeah, my third is Isak as well.
Third, no, Isak has to be second
Yeah,
best
I've got him
striker in this.
second for me.
It has to be. I'll argue with you all day on this.
I've not seen enough of
I ain't seen
him as a number 9. I've not seen enough of him as a number
Number
9
nine,
to
yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
He got 21 Premier League goals last season.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah,
but
coming
only
off the left. It's different when you're playing for a big club and there's always back fours and back fives, low block against you. It can be a little bit different. I've not seen enough of Isak yet.
He can only show you what is in front of him, right?
Yeah, of course.
He can only play what's in front of him, which is what the situation he's been at Newcastle.
Yeah.
But then to say, for example, Son's done it a lot as a number 9. I've seen a lot of examples of it, and obviously Haaland's going to be most of our number ones. But there's someone that's above Isak as well as Haaland, and for me, it's Ollie Watkins as the second best striker.
Above, I just don't think he scored less goals than him.
He's not a better total footballer than Isak, and he's not a better obviously winger. But as a number 9, I think if you're signing a number 9, guaranteed, I think Watkins is a better number 9.
Watkins scored less. He scored less league goals in an Aston Villa side that got into the Champions League.
No, Watkins scored more than Isak last season.
Yeah, he scored 20 plus goals.
No, I'm
pennies.
sure Isak got
no
the second.
pennies.
So adding a bit of context about last season, obviously Haaland was top goal scorer with 27 goals, 7 from penalties. Cole Palmer was second with 22.
Million penalties.
9 penalties. Isak with 21, 5 penalties. Watkins with 19, 0 penalties.
And that is why Isak is the second best, because Newcastle were nowhere near the levels they should be last season.
Yeah, but
and Villa finished in the Champions League, and Watkins is brilliant. He was my third, fourth, whichever way around you want to put him in Son. Isak has to be the second best striker.
So what striker would you say had a better season? A striker that made his team get into the Champions League where there was nowhere near it. They wasn't even meant to be getting in Champions League. It wasn't meant to be challenging.
But that wasn't down to him.
It was.
It wasn't just down to him.
He scored 19 goals with no penalties.
Aston Villa were managed amazingly. They had a great
take
squad
away his
around
19
him.
goals. Where did they make top 4?
Take away Newcastle's. Are they getting relegated?
No, they're not.
Like Isak has carried that team last season.
And he carried them to Champions League football. That is a great achievement.
Miles talking about sports and excellence. So Newcastle had a mediocre season, and Aston Villa had an unreal season.
Okay, Miles. So Arsenal chasing a striker all summer. You got Isak or Ollie Watkins. Who you signing?
Me personally, me personally.
Okay, well, answer the question. Who you signing? Who you signing?
Am I signing?
Isak's a more versatile striker.
Yeah, exactly. He's a more versatile
He can
player.
play left wing.
He can play left wing.
And it's more versatile.
He's not better than number 9.
Sorry. So he's more versatile.
Yeah.
And he scores more goals.
Okay, cool. But we're going.
So what's the
but
argument?
Isak is a more. I mean, I think Ollie Watkins is a more of an out and out striker. Isak is a better player.
Yeah, that's a fair thing to say.
That's what I think.
But what's an out and out striker? You score goals.
Alan Shearer's a better striker than Wayne Rooney. Rooney's a better total footballer.
No, but the only parameters to judge a striker on.
That also.
But this is a pure number 9 list.
Haaland, where he can score 40 goals a season.
Yeah.
You do pick the better footballer.
That's 100%. And also, if we're sticking on the parameters that you set of he's a better out and out striker, based on he doesn't score more goals. Isak scores more goals, and he's better with his feet, and he's better at linking up the play, and he's got more potential.
Very close in the last 3 years.
very
Very,
close,
very
man.
close.
But
And one of them got into the
penalties did he
Champions
score,
League.
Watkins
though?
is incredible.
How many penalties
Watkins is
did Isak
brilliant, but he's not better than Isak.
Isak got 5 penalties.
5 penalties, bro. This guy scored 19 with no penalties. Just 19 goals.
Yeah, but
And the goals he was scoring was great goals. He scored, and he scored against all the top teams. Say that Isak is a quality player. I think he's
very close.
He's very close. It's very
younger.
Touch and go. But Isak is a better all-round player. He can play left wing.
This is a debate I'm happy to have. Once in my Saturday League football team, we argued Núñez or Isak. I set the poll, and I want everyone who's listening to this, because I know you will watch, Núñez or Isak. Imagine. Núñez didn't get a mention in our list.
That's a good shout.
Good.
Yeah, he
Might get mentioned on the next one.
He didn't at all. We've done our seconds, haven't we? So let's move on to everyone's number one, which is massive, because when we do lists like this, talk about the best centre backs in Premier League history or the best midfielders, there's always debate. But the fact that Haaland's dominated to this level.
But can I think that. Okay, cool.
Raul Jimenez.
You put someone like Watkins in that Man City team, I think he
doesn't score as many goals.
He doesn't score as much goals, but Haaland he's the best striker, like the best out-and-out goal scorer in the league. He ain't the best striker in the league.
What's the striker?
What are you talking about?
He's not.
Honestly,
he's not the best player.
He's the best striker in the league.
Isak is a better. Isak is a no. It's the same. It's the same thing with Ollie Watkins.
And it's not. It's literally not the same thing.
But the difference is Haaland can score 40.
Who's a better striker than Haaland in the league?
No, he's the best striker, but there's better players than him in the league.
Rodri's a better total footballer. De Bruyne's a better footballer. Foden's a better.
No, I'm talking about strikers up front. If you put Harry Kane in there, for example, he would do the same thing as.
No, we don't know that. We don't know that. No way. It's so disrespectful to one of the greats of modern football. We haven't got many of them at the moment. Messi's about to retire. Ronaldo's basically in retirement.
I would be interested. I genuinely would be interested to see Harry Kane play up top for Man City.
Everything's on the plate for Haaland.
He scored a load of goals, but it's so disrespectful.
Harry Kane would have broken the record. I think.
What? He's broken so many, all the hat tricks that he's now passed Harry Kane's amount of hat tricks in the Premier League.
Harry Kane for Man City in that first year would have broken the Premier League goal scoring record.
Yeah, and it's a big if, isn't it? I mean, if I didn't have a knee injury when I was 12, I'd be the best striker since sliced bread. Haaland's done it, and it's so disrespectful when football fans say, "Oh, well, anyone could score tap-ins. Sterling scored a load of goals. Jesus." No, they didn't. No one's ever scored goals at this level in European football, and it's not a Man City thing. He's been doing it for Dortmund. He did it for Salzburg in the Austrian league as well in the Champions League. He's an absolute icon of modern football. We're so disrespectful to Haaland, I think.
If he played up front for West Ham, he'd still score 25 league goals, 30 league goals, just on his own. He'd pick the ball up, run past two defenders and put it top corner.
He's got every asset,
he'd score more than
Solanke scored 19 goals for Bournemouth. This guy would score double that for Bournemouth.
He would.
Double that for Bournemouth.
Probably.
He's a freak.
But I just think if Isak was in your squad, I think he'd do the same thing.
No.
He wouldn't score 50 goals. I know that. He wouldn't score 50 goals. But he'll get at least.
He scored goals. He scored goals. You're right about that.
Yeah, he'll score.
Mahrez scored a load of goals. Jesus did. Do you know what I mean? All these lads did. Ilkay Gundogan did as a false nine, of course. But I just think all I'm saying is when we talk about Erling Haaland, we're so disrespectful sometimes, rival football fans, about what this kid's achieving on the individual level. Yeah. He's a great of modern football.
Great, he is.
It's not a Man City
but like we said, the level of strikers is dipped. So that's the reason why he's looking better than he is.
Oh, mate.
I'm just saying, it's the fact. It's a matter of fact. Does Haaland withstand the test of time? Only time will tell.
How do you, like, if you went into a lab and you went, okay, make me the best striker you can ever make me. Okay, I'll make him 6'5". I'll make him one of the quickest players in the league. I'll make him have one of the most powerful shots. He can also head decently well. Okay, maybe not his passing's not the best in the world. It's not terrible. It's really not too bad either.
Decent.
Incredible, putting his body on the line. Like, we'll go for a bicycle kick. Goes for these
And that's your lab. My lab, I'll be like, make sure he's Brazilian. Make sure he scores. Make sure he can score any type of goals, finals, and his name is R9.
Sure, but it's a different kind of football. Like that is like Haaland, Ronaldo. At the end of Haaland's career, it's going to be interesting.
Haaland's class. I'm just saying the system helps him out a little bit. That's what I'm saying.
70 Premier League goals and 69 appearances, and he's worse than Dominic Solanke.
But he's still a killer, though. He's still a killer.
Come on, lads. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you very, very soon.